All right, grab your steamiest cup of tea this morning, folks. It's time to stir up some pro-relationship advice in today's Love in the Morning.
Yes, our certified marriage and relationship expert, Jennifer Boyd-Cool, joining us live. Good morning. Great to see you.
Good morning, Emily and Travis. Thanks for having me.
I love this question. This is a
today.
good
Yep.
question today. So let's jump into it because I think we're going to need all the time we can get. Jen, how do you know the difference between a relationship that's just going through a rough patch and one that's already over?
Ooh.
Yeah, fascinating.
This is great. If you yourself are asking this question about your own relationship or marriage, there's still something to fight for. That's my rule of thumb. If you're even asking.
Okay.
Often what feels dead is just neglected through years of hurt, unresolved issues. You know, if you're married and you've got kids, parenting, stress from work and advancing your careers, you know, all of it. And so we can often get stuck in the belief that if we're fighting, if it's volatile even, I'm not talking about abuse here, but if it's loud in your place together, that doesn't mean it's over. That actually means you have something to fight for. What you need to be really concerned about is when it's gone dead silent and you both have collectively decided not to show up anymore. If one person is showing up and the other one has decided not to show up anymore, you still have a chance. I see a lot of people that come to me one-on-one whose partner won't even get involved in anything related to coaching or therapy.
Yeah.
So one person can turn it around.
Okay.
That's a different path and that's not easy. But what a lot of people confuse is the fighting and the conflict equaling that there's something massively wrong with your relationship and you're not supposed to be together. What I see most in people that come to me is they are so not dead. They think they are, but they've lost their roadmap back together. They've just lost their way.
Yeah.
And you know, things have just gotten blurry and confusing. And you know, with a good guide, with some good help, they can get their roadmap back. They can find their way back and they can break through a lot of the hurt and pain that's making them feel that it's over.
Yeah.
However, if you've got two people that are checked out and you're not talking and you've both gone radio silent and you're both going through the motions because you're too afraid to say that it's over, that's over.
Yeah.
And that's misery.
Yeah.
You know?
So is that the only situation where you would say it's over? Like, I mean, is if both people are radio silent? Or?
No, I wouldn't even say it's over then. However, if both people have gone radio silent and it's been that way for a really long time, chances are it might be too late. And I don't mean to sound cynical, but there's a certain amount of time that you can go as a couple not addressing it, stuffing it under the rug and going silent or shutting down, whatever. And you're going to lose your relationship. You might stay together, but you're not going to have a real relationship.
Yeah.
But I love this question because if somebody came to me and which a lot of people come to me and they're not talking, and we revive it, we fan the flame of the one spark we can find, then that's where the magic happens. So I really love that question because I wouldn't want somebody to listen to this and think that if they're both radio silent, that it's over.
Sure. Maybe this is a bad way to word this question, but when do you get to a point where you're putting in so much work where maybe you ask the question if it's over, like how much work are you supposed to be putting into it if it's, I can't get, out of the radio silence phase. I've involved a coach and we've been doing this for a year,
Yes.
Is there a breaking point or is that just up to the beholder, I suppose?
The breaking point would be up to the beholder, but I would say in general speak, if you are the one that wants to save the relationship and your partner isn't participating, and you go through a process where you really feel in your heart you've done your best, you've tried not the wrong things. A lot of people are trying the wrong things and they're exhausting themselves, and then those people are also thinking that their relationship is over because they're like, oh, we've tried everything. But they've tried all the wrong things. They haven't tried the right things yet to really pull them out of the rut. So
You
Yeah,
know,
did I answer that?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
what's interesting too is like I think about the term rough patch. Like how do you know
Yeah.
when we're just going through a rough patch? And I think people hit rough patches for different
the
reasons.
time.
Somebody loses a job,
Right.
or you've got young kiddos, and all of a sudden life looks very different than it did when you were
Right.
newlywed. There's all kinds of reasons where life circumstances change. What can someone maybe say to themselves or to their partner to help recognize, hey, I think we are just in a rough patch. I'm not ready to quit on this. Like
What a
how do
great
you have that
question.
conversation?
I love reminding couples to remember what they're fighting about. You're not fighting each other. You're fighting over a problem
Yeah.
that you both get to address and face together. But we lose our way a lot of times when we're triggered by a problem. We look at our partner, we think our partner's the problem.
Right.
Now we're
You
pissed off
forget
at our
you're on the
partner.
same team.
But we're really supposed to be pissed off at the problem.
Yeah.
Maintaining our alignment with our partner, staying on the same team, being the united front, fighting the problem. But we all do it. We all default to our human way when we're emotional and we're upset and we point our finger at our partner.
I mean, it's an
being
emotional
able to say-
topic.
yeah,
it
or
makes
you know,
sense.
so to clarify my answer, you know, what are we fighting about here? Okay, are we fighting about because we're tired? You know, we've got 3 kids under 10.
Yeah.
Are we tired because we both are working till 7 at night?
Yeah.
You know, let's hold on. What are we fighting about? This isn't a battle between you and me. Let's reface our problem, the actual challenge itself, and redefining and labeling the challenge itself can really relieve the pain of feeling like, oh, it's your fault.
Yeah, it's a big question,
You know?
and frankly, it's hard to tackle in 4 to 5 minutes, which is what we have here.
And
you know,
but it's
so-
such a great. I mean, we could talk all day about this,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
of course, it's unique to everybody. So I really do love that pushback question. So if you are any of these things, but you're still remember the first thing I said. If you're questioning it, there's still something there
There's
to
a
fight
Yeah,
spark.
yeah.
Yeah.
Still give it a
you can
shot.
fan those flames.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, great question. I
Yeah,
love that.
appreciate
Thank you
it, Jen.
Thank you for
Food
having me to
thought.
answer this.
Thanks, Jen.
Yeah.
Hey, if you've got a question for Coach Jen, you can send us a message right now on the Coin News AM Extra Facebook or Instagram pages. You can keep your question anonymous, and you could get an answer from the pros right here on the show.
And you can remain anonymous.
So slide into our DMs.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, 8:40.